Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, this is Something Chat Show with Tom Jr. Jackson presents After the Movie Review, episode 4, Spooky October edition, and this is for the 1955 film Tarantula. Now, before we begin, I would like to start off by saying please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Down below there is in the description there are some links you can check out the network after the sequels, the positive fandom, and Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. Check out those shows, kids. They are great. And what else do I need to say? Yes, all my shows are in playlists so you can binge them. This is series 2 of my Spooky October edition movie reviews, and let's get to work, shall we? Okay, so 1950s. Let's just start off there. Great time for films. Great time for films. Lots of B pictures, as you may or may not know. Pictures like, I want to say, like War of the Worlds and Creature from the Black Lagoon, and of course, the 1955 film Tarantula. Tarantula was made in 1955, but the 1950s, I should say, I want to start off by saying the 1950s were a time when atomic fallouts and nuclear accidents were all the rage in film. And director Jack Arnold brought the film Tarantula to the big screen, the big silver screen, folks. Black and white classic film. Basically, Tarantula is about a spider that escaped from an isolated Arizona desert lab that's experimenting in gigantism and grows to a tremendous size, like the size of your mom. No, the size of bigger than a house, bigger than a bread box, almost bigger than a mountain. Huge, huge, folks, big. So, um, it's a film that it's very simple. You know, a doctor comes back from doing whatever he like making a house visit, because that's what they did back then. Like he'd come back from plane flight, visiting someone, and he gets a call from the local sheriff saying that they found something in the desert on the side of the road, and it's a man, and they would like his help in identifying the man. And they seem to know the guy, but he has some sort of disease that they don't quite know what it is, and the doctor thinks it's a sort of one sort of disease that doesn't take very quickly like that to um, set in, and it takes many years for it to come through. And it's all like a mystery in a way, but it's very much where there's an accident at a laboratory where the scientist has been working on the gigantism, and some animals were killed, some animals were um, escaped. And I should say, folks, so that you know, there's a trigger warning in this. If you are someone that doesn't like testing on animals, there is animal testing in here. Excuse me, but not as bad as you would think. But I don't want anyone to feel that this is a film about animal testing, because it is not. But back in the 50s, that's what they did. They talked about radioactivity and isotopes and all that kind of stuff. So this film has a lot going for it. It's a great B film, which means that it's not like your top tier A films. Um, Not really any actors or actresses you might know in it, but it's a good rainy day, Saturday afternoon, popcorn feeling type of film. Now, the spider in the film that portrays the tarantula later appeared in director Jack Arnold's film, The Incredible Shrinking Man. He also directed that. And he's the spider, well, the spider, the tarantula, the spider that plays the tarantula in this film plays a spider in that film, The Incredible Shrinking Man, that threatens the shrinking man. And let's see here. In the film, oh, actually, you know what? I take that back. There is someone that you may know of. He's an actor. His name is Leo G. Carroll. And I know what you're thinking. You've heard that name before. Well, Leo G. Carroll and the name of the film Tarantula, they both sound alike and familiar because you've heard them in the song Science Fiction Double Feature from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And Leo G. Carroll also went on to play the chief in the television show The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And I believe Hugh Grant played that character in the film. He played the Leo G. Carroll character. Anyways, Leo G. Carroll's professor in the film predicts that by the year 2000 that the population will be 3.6 billion. And when 2000 came around, it was actually double the size by then. So they were close. They were close, but it was double in size. Also, this is the second uncredited theatrical feature film that Clint Eastwood was in. Clint Eastwood's first film was 1955's Revenge of the Creature, where he played a lab assistant in that one. And in this film, he plays a fighter pilot. So this is like his second time, but it's his second time being in a theatrical film, but he's uncredited at the time, so you don't really know who. If this was 1955, you wouldn't know who he was, but now that you do, you'll recognize him. Trust me, you'll recognize him. You will. Tarantula was the fourth biggest film at the U.S. box office in December of 1955, earning $1.1 million. It's the fourth biggest film at that time. And not that many films, I don't think back then hit the $1 million mark, because nowadays 1.1 million doesn't seem like a lot, but then $1 million was a lot of money. And nowadays it wouldn't seem like people would call it a flop. But then it was very popular because it was part of the films of that era. Um, let's see here. And Tarantula stars John Agar, Mara Corday, Leo G. Carroll, Nestor Parva, and Ross Elliott. Now, Mara Corday, she was the female lead in this film. Does a great job. She's great in the film. She plays like sort of like the love interest to John Agar, who is the at the town or country sheriff, not sheriff, doctor. And in those years, since she was lead, and Clint Eastwood appeared briefly at the end. He appears briefly at the end in a cameo, uncredited cameo. And that's fine. But this is the kind of talent and person that Clint Eastwood was. He never forgot his people he worked with. You know how they say, when you're going up the ladder, don't forget who you meet going up the ladder, because going down the ladder, you're going to see those same people that as you were going up. Well, in her last four films, Mara Corday had small, brief roles when Clint Eastwood was the main star. So he included her in some of his films, which was very nice. And I don't know have those down here. Probably should have, but I didn't think of that till now. Now, in the 1950s, the filmmakers had visions of atomic apocalypses, and the B movies were films that crystallized American paranoia without questioning it. And it also dehumanized others, and it had them turn a blind eye to how such delusions ended up feeding. No, dehumanization, not delusions, dehumanization ended up feeding into the nation's terrors and paranoia. So in the 50s, there's a lot of worrying about, will the bomb go off? Will this blow up? And they would do in schools uh, uh, nuclear bomb tests. Not tests, but like drills where they would literally tell kids to get underneath their tables, because as we all know, if a nuclear bomb goes off, you want to be underneath your table, because that'll save you from the radiation. I guess. Um, Tarantula, I would give 4 out of 5, 4.5, 5 stars, something like that. It's not rocket science. It's not Oscar winning. It's not Shakespeare. It's just one of those films that, for back in those days, scared the crap out of people, because it had to do with radiation and what they thought radiation would do, make things grow, make people mutate, and all that stuff. I find that to be interesting in the way that, nowadays we don't really think about, well, we sometimes do think about it, but we don't, you know. And it always takes me back seeing these old films, like the 1931 Dracula or Frankenstein, and how the special effects then and the makeup would scare people. And nowadays you watch it and it's not really too scary, but back then it was, and that always surprised me. And so sometimes I try to put my mindset into that. Well, how would that feel if that was today? And I think probably make this film today. People probably say it's a bit uh, hokey, but I guess if done right, it could be done. So yeah. Um, I wanna. I guess that's it. I want to thank you all for watching the review, and I want to say, as always, check out my playlist, watch all the other reviews. Stay tuned, because this is Spooky October edition month. We have, this is my fourth one. So 13. So about 9 more left. So there'll be about 13 videos coming out this month. for this series. I figure 13 is a good spooky number. It should work out. I want to thank you all for watching. And as always, please remember, folks, to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos as well. I don't know why I did that. It looks like I was, share the video. Check out the Burn Network. Check out Positive Fandom. Check out After the Sequels, which is a great channel as well. And also check out Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster on YouTube and Facebook. And until next time, folks, please remember, we are all good people. I am your host, as always, Tom Junior Jackson, saying so long for now.